I'm Karl Skorecki. I'm a physician, a nephrologist. I specialize in kidney disease.
I was very interested and excited when I was able to meet Dr. Skorecki and learn about his work in terms of kidney disease and then its prevalence among the African American community.
If we can intervene early and understand the process early, then we can save not just the suffering of dialysis and transplantation, which is bad enough, but actually, a lot more. Dr. Hart and I just met very recently, but I feel like we've known each other for a long time. A real problem which I first encountered and understood that is something I need to pursue and others need to pursue, but I felt it very strongly. My interest in kidney disease among African Americans really goes back more than 30 years to my training and residency training in internal medicine when in Boston, at the hospital I was training at, which served the Roxbury community in Boston, and I encountered a number of patients who came in with dialysis, with kidney failure, some needing transplantation, some getting transplantation, some dying while waiting for a transplant, with quite a bit of human suffering. As a physician, my mission in life is to prevent human suffering, and also I realized that there are many challenges, but this was something very specific that touched my heart. Perhaps some of the people I met, specifically some of the families, some families where there were multiple people in the family who had kidney disease and kidney failure, and it stuck with me, the names, the faces, the relationships I developed. The kidneys, I have a very what's called kidney-centric view of the world, right? And I view them as really important because the main function that everyone associates with the kidney is cleansing the body of the toxic waste products of metabolism. So we eat all kinds of food, and most of it is nutritious, helpful to us, gives us energy, gives us the ability to renew our tissues, but some of the results or the products of the metabolism of the food, just like, with any energy-consuming process, there are waste products that are made. And one of the main tasks of the kidney is to clear them out of the body effectively. And that's one major function. And when that doesn't work, they build up. When they build up, they cause the person to become ill. And if they build up enough and aren't cleared at all, and there's no other solution, such as dialysis or a kidney transplant, they're not compatible with life. When they build up so much, they're poisonous. So one of the kidney's main functions is to clear those waste products. The research that we do can really be thought of in two stages or phases. The first phase is what's called gene discovery, or mapping an area in the genome, and we know there have been huge breakthroughs in what's called genomic medicine and genomic science in the last decade, which have really enabled this work to go forward. So that first stage is mapping an area of the genome where there are variations, because all of us, in all our cells in our body, have a complete genome of 3 billion letters on 23,000 genes, and it's like finding a needle in a haystack to try to pinpoint the specific gene and the specific variation, because we all vary a little bit in the sequence of letters. Not very much. We're very similar. We're much more similar than we are different. And that's called gene discovery or gene mapping. And that involves working with a lot of other co-investigators, working with patients who are healthy and who are unhealthy, have kidney disease, and pinpointing the needle, finding the needle in the haystack. Once we found that gene and the variations in that gene which confer risk for kidney disease, and which those variations are prevalent in the African American community, now the challenge is to understand what it is about those variants which make the kidneys vulnerable to injury, and what can we do about it. That's the stage of research we're at now. That's what we're doing right now. So phase 1 is done, and we're in the second and even into the third year of phase 2, which is figuring out what's called the mechanism, the target, and developing potential ways and therapies to restore health to the kidney that's at risk or preventing it from being vulnerable to injury. And what has happened a little bit, and something that's a little touchy to talk about, but I think it's important. We in the nephrology community, the medical community, were kind of a little bit dormant or a little bit too laissez-faire. We weren't active enough because dialysis was there, transplantation was there. We said, okay, so kidney disease is not such a big deal. There's something that can be done about it. Someone gets kidney failure, they'll go on dialysis. Only now, lately, are we realizing that that keeps people alive, but it doesn't give them a full lifespan. And we're now realizing that that's really not the main problem. The main problem is the cardiovascular complications before you get to dialysis. And so dialysis is not the solution, really. The solution is finding the way to prevent chronic kidney disease from initiating, or when it initiates, stopping it and protecting the kidneys. And that's what our research is all about. It's preventive. It's part of the whole idea that we're not finding solutions very late in a process, but preventing a process from occurring or progressing. Thank you.